This is what a normal distribution curve looks like. A normal distribution curve is a probability distribution curve of a random variable where it is a bell shape and the axis of symmetry represents the mean. The mean divides the data into two equal parts. When we write the distribution for a normally distributed data, this would be x distributed normally, n stands for normally, with mean and variance. This would be variance. Since standard deviation is the square root of variance, standard deviation here is actually just 2.3. Let's transfer this to our distribution curve. For this curve, the mean is 10, and that is all we are going to transfer here. Mean is 10. Now let's use the graph to find the probability. The probability for a normal distribution curve is the area under the curve. Let's try to find, for this data set, the probability of x being greater than 13. 13 would be on the right of 10. This is just a sketch, it doesn't have to be accurate. This is 13, and the area, since we are finding the probability, we need to find the area. The area represented by x greater than 13 would be here. This is the probability for x greater than 13. However, we don't have any reference values for this set of data, for distribution of this data. This is when the standard normal distribution comes into play. The standard normal distribution is another normal distribution curve, but with specific values of mean and standard deviation. The mean for a standard normal distribution is 0. That means once we convert it into a standard normal distribution, the variables are known as Z variables. So that is what we refer to as the Z score later on. Z is distributed normally with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. These are the properties of a standard normal distribution curve. We could take any data that is normally distributed and convert it into a standard normal distribution. The way to do that would be to use this formula. The Z value, that means the value on the standard distribution curve, would be equals to the X value, which is the original data. This is our original data, minus the mean of the original data divided by the standard deviation of the original data. Let's take this value 13 as an example. When we convert it to standard normal distribution, we would have the value somewhere here around the same region, and we would be looking for this area as well. But this value would now be a Z score. Let's find the Z score. The Z score will be equals to the X value, the value for the variable itself, which is 13, minus the mean, 10, divided by the standard deviation, 2.3. This will give us 1.304. The corresponding Z value for X is 13 is 1.304. Now that we have the Z value, we can use the Z table. The Z table is a table that contains the probabilities for each value of Z. And when we are looking at the Z table, you have to make sure that you are looking at either an upper tail probability table or a lower tail probability table. What this means is simply where the area lies. For example, since this is an upper tail probability table, the probability we are referring to in the table is on the right side of the Z value. If it were lower tail probability table, then we would be referring to the left side of the Z value. This is the Z value. That is the difference. However, the principles in this lesson are still the same, whether you are using an upper tail or a lower tail probability table. In this case, let's focus on the upper tail. When you look at the rows and the columns in the Z table, here the first column you can see the Z score, but this is only to one decimal place. Then you will see a range from 0 to 9. This represents the second decimal place of the Z score. And then you will see another range, and this represents the third decimal place of the Z score. Let's try to use our Z score and find the probability. Our score was 1.304. We use a ruler. We go down to the first column and we look for 1.3, which is right here. 1.30. So 1.3, the second decimal place is 0. And the third decimal place is 4. We would find the value 6 here. 1.304. How do we use this table? This value for the third decimal place 6. Write it at the end. Here 6, because the value is not actually 6, it is actually 0.0006. Whatever value you get for the third decimal place, you write it at the end of the value that you got for the second decimal place, and that's the actual value. And from here we can find the probability. This value actually represents the probability. However, there's one more step that we need to do. If you look at the header, we have minus. We are going to subtract the value from the third decimal place from the value of the second decimal place. This simply means, very simply, this is 0.0968, so it will be 0.0968. Subtract minus 0.0006. And the probability will be 0.0962. This is the probability of Z being greater than 1.304. So when we go back to our table, this area here is actually 0.0962, which means this area is also 0.0962. And that would make the probability of x greater than 13 0.0962. So this is the concept here. We find the area, but in order to get the values of the area using the Z table, we need to convert our normal distribution to a standard normal distribution using this particular formula. Z is x minus mu over sigma, minus mean over the standard deviation. What if the value was on the left side of the mean? For example, what is the probability of x being less than 9? Our mean is 10, and that would mean 9 is on the left side. And now we are looking for the probability of less than 9. So we are looking for this area. The first thing to do would be to convert to our z-score. The z-score for 9, z will be equals to 9 minus 10 divided by 2.3, and the value here is negative 0.435. Once we have our z-score, then we can use the standard normal distribution. Mean is 0, and we have the value for 9. The corresponding z-score for 9 is negative 0.435. And we're going to look for this area. Now you will notice the problem when you try to find the z-score in the table. If this is an upper tail probability, you will only get the z-scores from 0 to 3 on the table. You will not find any negative z-scores on the table. If you're using a lower tail probability table, then you will only find negative z values. You will not find positive z values. But there's a simple solution to this. We have to make use of the fact that this is a symmetrical graph. If it is a symmetrical graph, then when we take the positive value, which is positive 0.435, since it is symmetrical, that would mean this area is the same. So area A and area B are exactly the same. If we can get this area B, that would have the same value as A. The z-score that we would need to use for area B would be 0.435. This you would be able to find on the table. Again, if you are using an upper tail probability, you will only get 0 to 3 for z-scores. If you are using lower tail probability, it will only be negative values, but you apply the same principle. Let's look for 0.435 in the table. Take the ruler, go to 0.4. So this is 0.4. Next value is 3, 0.4, 3, and the third decimal place is 5, so 18. Once again, 18 is not actually 18, just write 18 at the end, and the value is 0.0018. So we would need to subtract that value from 0.3336, and let's do exactly that. This area would be 0.3336 subtract 0.0018, and the value that we would get for this is 0.3318. This is the probability of Z being greater than 0.435, which is exactly the same as the probability of Z being less than negative 0.435. It is the same thing, which would mean the probability of X being less than 9 is 0.3318. What if X was in between two values? Let's say we want to find the probability of X between 9 and 13. Again, this is the mean of the data is 10. 9 will be here on the left side, on the left of 10, and 13 would be here on the right side. This is 13. The area that we will be looking for is this area. Now we transfer this to a standard normal distribution. We standardize the values. We've already done it earlier. So this 9 would simply be negative 0.435. Mean is 0. And we would get on the right side the corresponding Z value for 13 would be 1.304, and we are looking for this area. When we are using an upper tail probability or a lower tail probability table, we are only looking at the areas at the ends. So what about the middle? Here we make use of the concept that the total area under the graph is 1, because the total area represents the total probability. By the way guys, if you're enjoying this video, please do hit that like button. Thank you very much for doing that. If we have an upper area and a lower area, this can be found using the methods that we used in the first and second example. We have already found this value. This is 0.0962, and we've also found this value 0.3318. If we wanted to find this area, which would represent the probability, that would simply be 1 minus 0.3318 minus the left side and minus the right side, 0.0962. And the value that we would get here is 0.5720, which would mean the probability of X between 9 and 13 is 0.5720. If you found this video useful, do share it with your friends and do help me by hitting that like button. Thank you very much for doing that. I'll be producing at least one video a week. If you want to watch more videos like this, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. I will see you guys in the next video.